you ready to embark on a transformative journey? Hi, I am Sharon Kumara, host of Awakened Soul. By tuning into Awakened Soul Radio, you will be inspired to shed the illusions that bind you, connect more deeply with your inner wisdom, and step into a liberating life of freedom, clarity, and purpose. Each episode, I share stories and lessons learned that help cultivate greater compassion, patience, and understanding, qualities to embody in everyday life. I invite you to join in as we expand our awareness, exploring diverse topics, and gain access to practical tools, guided exercises, and expert advice to help overcome fears and break the chains that bind us. Join us on Awakened Soul. Your journey to freedom and true self begins here. Hello, welcome to Awakened Soul Radio. And if you're watching on Ascension Gateway, welcome to you as well. I am your host, Sharon Sananda Kumara, and I would like tonight to talk about what I've learned or rather remembered about the afterlife, being a psychic medium and also an out-of-body traveler, working with loved ones personally and with people in my work. I've learned so much about life beyond the veil. So I'd like to share some things that hopefully will help you understand, or I should say, be more interested in exploring the afterlife yourself. So these are my personal insights. Of course, always take what resonates and leave the rest, and explore for yourself. Do your own work, study work with the afterlife. I believe that the more we know here about our soul's multidimensionalness, multidimensional level, the more that we can expand when we do leave this physical life here. So the biggest thing I learned is that we do not die, or remembered, we do not die. That's a misnomer. It is a lie. Basically, we do not die. We simply change form. The soul leaves our physical body, but consciousness continues, and we continue on in very productive lives. I've learned this again from my near-death experiences and my out-of-body experiences. My out-of-body experiences are not dream-like. They are real, even more real than this physical realm sometimes, most of the time. I've learned that our senses are muted here in this realm, whereas in the higher planes or inner planes, our senses are so much more intense. I also remember that love never dies. Even when relationships are challenging, if we have challenging relationships with people, the core connection is always love. And I've learned this and remember this, that when we do have challenging relationships, those are the ones that we have the most growth from. We chose these experiences and these challenges so that we can heal what we didn't heal before. I used to think that past life challenges or traumas were 90% of what we deal with in this lifetime that wasn't healed before. Now I know it's 100%, because what we don't heal in our other lifetimes, we bring forward. We repeat what we don't heal, basically, and that's a lot of the work I do as well. And Christ did that work with me after my 2001 near-death experience, because I needed to drop that baggage so that I could move forward in my life, and change and understand my soul and what was going on with me. So the more we understand ourselves and what is going on with us, the higher we can not only rise in this lifetime, but also in the afterlife when we do leave this life experience. So we do have soul families that we reincarnate with, and we choose these experiences together. And some of you may have read Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls. I believe that is one of the best books out there for understanding soul groups and families, and why we choose who we're with, who we reincarnate with. It's kind of like Soul Family 101 or Spirituality 101. I highly recommend those books by Dr. Michael Newton. So another thing I remembered was that we are not instantly all-knowing after we die. Most of us, we don't. We carry what we carry what we know here with us, and there are. And what we sorry, what we know here, we carry with us. What we haven't healed, we also carry with us. If that makes sense. What we don't know, we don't know. So we do have guides there to help us, but what I understand is guides cannot give us information that we are not ready for. So the more expanded we are here, the more we are able to receive more information on the other side. And just because we cross over and leave our physical body doesn't mean we are instantly enlightened. There is still that journey here that contributes to us growing there. I hope that makes sense. I hear from Spirit a lot that the more we grow here, the more we help them, and vice versa. Okay. So I understand that we do, on the other side, that we do love to study and expand our consciousness. And our goal is to get closer to what we would say God, source, the all that is, love. That is our goal on the other side, and to be of service to others. Our heart and our soul needs and wants to be of service to others. We feel that here. Once we start working through the layers of our pain, we need and we want to be of service to others, because we are love and we are light expressing through our bodies. So the more layers we peel away, the more we are expressing who we are, which is God in form, love, and light. And in the higher planes, where we have less of a heavy, dense physical embodiment, it's even more profound for us, expressing who we are, love and light. I also remembered and learned that reincarnation is a choice here on this planet, and we choose to come here. We have chosen to come here. We don't need to choose that if we don't want to, but we do, because we made that choice to come to this realm to learn what we didn't know, or what we haven't experienced in the higher realms. This is a lot denser realm. So we chose to experience that. It's like going into a tough, big game. We're like, oh yeah, I want to do that. But we have to train for it and things like that, which I believe we did on the other side as well. And this is kind of the training ground too. And what we didn't finish up before, we choose to come back and finish up again, heal what we haven't healed before. And since our souls, again, are infinite, it's not like we're in a hurry. But we can, once we clean up what we haven't cleaned up before in this lifetime, then we're free always to reincarnate on another planet, another solar system, wherever we'd like. So we have many, 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 many infinite choices. And also what I've remembered is that just because people are together here in this realm does not necessarily mean that they are together in the higher realms. Now, they may gather for us if there's something big going on here, or if someone crosses over, they will gather to greet them. If we have some kind of a big reunion here, then our soul groups will gather to be there for us in that way as well. And if we're doing a session together, or you're communicating with them, they're always there, because it's the love that bonds us. Love keeps us connected always. And I also want to say that when I've talked to loved ones on the other side, for instance, if someone here, a client or someone that I've talked to, feels guilty about saying something or being mean to someone before they pass, something like that, or they had a fight, or they didn't say goodbye and they feel guilty. The loved ones on the other side, their loved ones say, just leave it, water under the bridge. Please let it go because it's not anything that they hold within themselves. We can't rise in frequency if we hold on to guilt and shame and things like that and anger. So when I work with people, they tell them it's all water under the bridge. Let it go. Let it go. We don't carry that with us. It's not good to carry that with us. That's how we get fragmented in our soul aspect. This personality gets stuck on the earth plane. So we don't need that. And they don't need that. And they've let it go. There's always forgiveness on the other side. It's all forgiveness. Okay. Also, my mother and my biological father were connected on the other side, and they were divorced when my sister and I were young and not married very long. But they were working together on the other side for their soul growth and what they went through. Whereas my stepfather, who passed before my mother, 5 years, 6 years before my mother did, he was in a higher frequency. So when I would visit them, I would see her greeting me, and my stepfather would come down a staircase to signal that he was coming down from a higher frequency. Whereas, because he was there longer, I guess, and he was in a different frequency than mom, whereas my mother and my bio dad were working together. They they had stuff they needed to work on, so they were together when I would see them. And what I know, and I'm sure you know too, that are watching, is that animals do go to heaven. Dogs do go to heaven. Animals cross over too, and it's the bond that keeps us together, the love bond. And they often reincarnate with us. That happens quite a bit because of our bond, and they don't live as long as we do, so they can reincarnate with us a couple times in a lifetime, and in other past lives, other lifetimes. I've seen my dogs in other lifetimes who remained with me during traumatic experience. One in particular, she was a horse in one lifetime that I needed to retrieve her and myself because she stayed with me, and I've found that is pretty common. If a person is traumatized during their life when they die, and they're with an animal and they die with them, or something happens with them where the animal is there, the animal will stay with them on the earth plane because the animal doesn't know the difference between life and death, or what we call life and death, although there's no death. And I hope that makes sense. And even when we are stuck on the earth plane, we don't know the difference either. So my point is, our animals sometimes do stay with us when a fragmented part of us personality gets stuck. But our animals, on a higher note, our animals are on the other side waiting for us if they haven't reincarnated with us at that time of passing. And we do see our animals. They come through a lot in readings I do with people. Animals come through a lot. They're there with family. They're free to run in the pastures and the fields and the parks and stuff like that, but they also gather around family, from what I understand and remember. And it's not unusual for our loved ones to become guides or helpers for us from the other side. They want us to succeed. They're very active in our life if we want them to be, if we ask them. They're aware of what's going on in our life, and a lot of loved ones come forward and want to be of assistance for us. It helps them too. Not only helps us, but helps them, especially if they feel that there's something that they didn't do well when they were in this lifetime. They would love to help out more from the other side. And it's, the other side is really isn't so different from this realm here, the physical realm, meaning there's still communities, we have relationships, we learn. It's a lot more joyful, but there's no ego there, no bills to pay, no social media. We're not comparing ourselves to others, that type of thing, no stress. We, there's challenges, of course, because we're learning and growing all the time, but we have the freedom to do what we love, going to concerts, swimming in the ocean, um, studying in any of the temples that we'd like to, and flying, which is one of my favorite things to do in an out of body experience. So we have so much more freedom, but we still live full lives, and we can planet hop if we want. We can travel the cosmos. So much we can do besides not just, but being an Earth person. There's so much out there. We have the whole universe to explore. We're a lot more liberated, let's say that, okay, in the afterlife. We do have jobs. We love to help others, because that is who we are and what we do in our soul. That it's what we are all about is being of service. We are love, we are light expressing in our bodies. That's what in these physical vehicles that we have here, that we need to take care of. And I've had so many people ask me many times during sessions and things like that, and in classes and courses, I want to know what my purpose is here. Well, once we start peeling away the layers, then we find that what we want to be in service to others. We want to do something meaningful, not just for us, but for others, to help others. And that's how we are in the higher planes. We want to help others. We want to definitely be of service, because our goal, not only here, but a lot of times, but in the higher planes, is to be as close to God, what we call God source, as possible. And as we're helping others to do that, we help them lift up too. And so we're helping ourselves lift up. And it's part of what our soul is all about. And I also remembered and have seen is that the work that we do here a lot of times matches what we do on the other side, because we do have jobs, as I mentioned. For instance, I do spirit rescue work here, and I have had many out of body experiences where I'm doing that type of work on the other side. So what sings to your heart here, you're probably doing on the other side as well, helping others. If you're, for instance, if you love helping children or guiding children or teaching, assisting in many areas, that's you're probably doing something like that on the other side in some frequency, because we are multidimensional. Remember, we are multidimensional. We're existing in many planes. Creativity and pleasure exist there, much more profound in the higher planes. Our senses are heightened in the higher planes. We experience lovemaking, joy, of course, connection to in ways that we can't even imagine, without the heaviness of the ego or fear. We can create the most amazing experiences, just like here, only in a much higher frequency. We can go to concerts. We can sing in concerts. We can, if that's one of our dreams, is to sing in front of people and in concerts and things like that. We can do that as well. I've seen myself doing that, even though I don't do that here. I love to sing, but I shouldn't be singing in front of people. I do that on the other side. I've seen myself. Yeah, we can do so many things and exist in so many realms that we can't even imagine. And in the afterlife, we love to learn and we love to grow. It's something that God instilled in us because we are God. God is always experiencing through us, and that's what we do, and that's who we are. And remembering that we are love and we are light. Light is information. And when we remember our true selves, that is what we express. And I would like to say that I believe that spiritual progress, ascension, whatever we want to call it, spiritual growth, enlightenment, is all about bringing the higher planes here, merging the two. So we don't really go anywhere when we transform our bodies and move into the higher planes, into the afterlife. We're still here. We're just in a higher frequency. So that's I think that's something that we forget, is that we're existing with the spirit world, just in a different frequency. We're all together. We're all one. We're existing together. So yeah, the focus on the other side is always on how we can raise our frequency through service, through joy and remembrance, and helping others in that way. And it's what we strive for here is love, because we are love. That is what we are. That's why we strive for it. That's why we're always looking for love, because we are love. And there's so much in this realm that gets in the way of our remembering that and being who we are, which is love and light and enjoying life. So there's a lot the afterlife has helped me remember, and this life is sacred. It really is. It's temporary. And that's probably why it's so sacred. It is temporary. And what we carry with us, our love, our lessons, our healing, is eternal. We keep that within our soul memory, our records. And I know that the more we learn here, I know this with all my heart and soul, the more that we remember here, the more we will be able to catapult when we do leave this physical body, and know that you are more than this body. You are so much more than your body, and you are so much more than your story, your thoughts, all of that, your past. You are so much more than that. And also that you are never, ever, ever alone. You have a whole team working with you. And I am here for you as well. And don't believe me, take my word for it. I would love for you to, if you haven't already, dive into your gifts and your abilities and find out what the afterlife is all about for yourself. And hopefully you are connecting to your guides, to your loved ones. If you need help with that, I am teaching a course this weekend, July 13th. Level 1 and level 2, beginner and intermediate, is this weekend. And then I am teaching an advanced course after that in August. So if you're interested, go to my website, SharonSananda.com. I would love to see you there. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I hope to see you again sometime. And I hope to see you in my course. I'm Sharon Kumara, and you have been listening to Awakened Soul Radio on Transformation Talk Radio. I invite you to embark on a transformative journey with us. Awakened Soul is a safe, sacred space for exploring the depths of our consciousness. Each episode, you will be inspired to shed the illusions that bind you, connect more deeply with your inner wisdom, and step into a liberating life of freedom, clarity, and purpose. To connect with me, visit KumaraAcademy.com.